Welcome to Off 63rd with Gerard McClendon. Last week we had incumbents from 3 wards on the show, but tonight the challengers are in the building. Do they really think they can beat the current alderman, or are they running just for citywide recognition and another Grammy Award? This is Off 63rd, Chicago, from the beach to the burbs. This is Off 63rd with Gerard McClendon. Hey, hit me up on the phone lines at 773-487-3630. That's 773-487-3630. The day of reckoning and victory is April 5th. Pavement-pounding candidates will try to sway voters in several aldermanic races. Tonight, we have the challengers from 3 wards. From the 6th Ward, graduate from Chicago Kent College of Law and the son of former Chicago Mayor, the late Eugene Sawyer. Welcome, attorney Roderick Sawyer. Running as a challenger in 2007 and 2011, getting 22% of the vote, claiming to be a dedicated servant to the 16th Ward, Mr. Hal Baskin. And from the 20th Ward, garnering 20% of the vote, Grammy Award-winning recording artist, rapper, and writer, Rhymefest Smith. Thanks for coming to Off 63rd, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Hey, let's have a free-flowing discussion. Let's start out by asking you this question. The incumbents did not get 50% of the vote plus 1, which means they're in a runoff with the 3 of you gentlemen now. Let me start with Roderick Sawyer. Why didn't the incumbents get 50% in the 3 wards, most specifically your ward?
Obviously, the electorate's not happy. They're not happy with the current state of the condition of the ward. They're not happy with the services that are being produced there. They're upset. They're mad. Just like I was mad when we get what we get because we accept what we accept.
Yeah.
Because the streets are not clean, the services are not provided. We get parking meter deals. You know, we sell our assets down the river, and we just get fed up. And 55% of those people just decided enough is enough.
This is interesting. I want to move to Hal Baskin in your ward. You know, you would think that an incumbent could get 50%. What happened?
Well, we got crime and violence how it is in the 16th Ward. When you got the lack of job and job opportunities in the community, close to 60% of those people said, no, enough is enough. That's it. Most of them that came out approved that on election day, that 57% of the population in the 16th Ward said enough is enough, and we don't want nothing. Because crime and violence is something that everybody faces, not only in the city of Chicago, but across this country, across this planet. And people are sick of it. They're sick and tired of it, and they want to see some new resolve.
Rhymefest Smith comes off world tour, decides to run for alderman in the 20th Ward. Yes. Why didn't Willie Cochran get 50% of the vote plus 1, and why are you running?
Well, I think that that's both the same question and answer. I'm running because Willie Cochran can't garner enough votes to win because our ward is not being serviced. And if you look at our ward, for the last 30 years, 63rd Street has been becoming more abysmal than ever. The empty lots, the high rate of foreclosure, being the 4th most violent crime ward in the city, is a reason that my children are unsafe. And if my children are unsafe, then all of the children are unsafe. And I have a unique ability to help rally the community together.
Okay, gentlemen, wild card question. Anyone jump in on this? Shouldn't you give an incumbent more time, though, to correct some of the ills in the ward? I mean, is 2 years enough? Is 4 years enough? Shouldn't you give an incumbent a little bit more time? Come on, at least give him 8. I mean,
I think certainly 12 years has got to be more than enough. So I believe that, 12 years is enough. We hear things talk about now we want to do this, now we want to do that. Why haven't we done this 12 years ago? Why haven't we talked about opening up schools for after-school programs 12 years ago? Why haven't we cleaned our streets 12 years ago? Why haven't we gotten rid of abandoned buildings, the same abandoned buildings 12 years ago that are still there today?
Smith, you wanted to jump in here.
And there's some more immediate things that we can do that don't take 3 years, that don't take 1 year. When we talk about green communities, green economy, our ward has 2 of the most important tools in the city with the University of Chicago and Kennedy King College. We talk about training and retraining people in jobs that exist today in the new green economy, retrofitting, weatherization. They're talking about building a high-speed rail. This could have been done in 2 years.
You know what? This is, the three of you are talking about progression, you know,
Yes.
a progressive state of your wards. Hal Baskin.
Just let me say this. You have to have a plan and a program when you go in. If you don't have a plan, I don't care if it takes you 20 years, nothing's going to happen. When you're talking about a high rate of unemployment in the 16th ward, you're not talking about bringing no new development in. You're not talking about bringing in job creation in. Then you can be 40 years there and still end up the same situation. You end up with a runoff, you end up with anything else. But the reality of it is that if you have people that are sit on the seat and the mayor tells them to jump and they ask how high, then we have a problem with that. You know, if you got to go in there and be a representative of the people. You're talking about the high crime rate. Well, we don't have a lot of after-school programs.
Yeah.
You know, to keep those kids off the street doing something positive and productive. We don't have a lot of jobs to keep those kids off the street and have them positive and productive. And when you block person like Walmart from coming into community to create jobs,
the W
then what
word.
happens then,
The W word.
those 400 permanent jobs that come into the community go down the way line. Now my opponent is saying now I'm for Walmart, which is it? You flip it and flop it, now you're for Walmart, but before you was against Walmart. Come on, let's be serious.
Mr. Baskin is on fire. Rhymefest Smith is in the mix. I've got Roderick Sawyer in the mix, and you know what? The phone lines are lit. We're gonna go to Frank on the phone lines. Frank, talk to us on off 63rd. What's on your mind, Frank?
When is Rhymefest coming out?
Could you repeat that, please?
When is Rhymefest album coming out?
Thank you for the question.
Yeah, I don't have an album coming out. I decided that my main duty is to the constituents and the electorate of the 20th Ward. I decided not to do music on a national, international level, that the music that I do will be connected to literacy programs for young people in schools in the ward. We can use music and art as a way of teaching our children and not as a way of profiteering off the backs of people suffering.
Okay, this is interesting because Willie Cochran, the incumbent, he's been somewhat attacking you or saying some things about you pertaining to the lyrics of your songs. Do you want to just briefly talk about that?
Well, I mean, you know, it's funny. I was in an interview today and someone was asking me, what about the bad lyrics? And I asked them, which song? What song are you talking about? And they said, I don't know. I don't listen to it. That's my answer. If you don't know, then why are we painting a narrative of a young brother that's done nothing but help people? You ask these young people what kind of rap Rhymefest does. They'll tell you he's a positive rapper. So what are we saying? My Grammy is for Jesus Walks. My debut album was called Blue Collar, celebrating the working man. So what are we really saying?
Okay, this is a good point. I'm going to go to the phones here shortly.